Hey, everybody, listen. Happy Wednesday. Thank y'all for being in the building. I'm so glad that y'all hanging out with me tonight. Listen, as y'all come through the building, y'all know I only ask one thing. Hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button. Listen, people, we got stuff to talk about for this trending topics, and the title is called The Ugly Truth. The Ugly Truth, okay? Snoop Dogg's friend saying Snoop Dogg is not a sellout, that we need to chill out. And I know we talked about this the other night, but I want you to hear his friend coming to his defense. Shout out to all the friends that are your ride and dies, that will be with you through thick and thin, that will stand by you even when everybody else is trying to push you in the gutter. Shout out to those friends. Shout out to those individuals that will stand by you no matter what. Speaking of that and standing by, let me do a public service announcement. Okay, a public service announcement. There are some people that come through to my channel, watch my videos, and they get emotional about the said video I made. A lot of people, I'll back up. I'll tell you exactly one of the videos, my recent videos. My video on the Obamas, people lost their natural mind. Cursed me out, told me off, said they was unsubscribing and take the BS down, all that. And you know me, you gotta take, when you do this YouTube thing, you gotta take the good with the good with the bad and the ugly. You gotta be ready to get knocked down. But in my day, there was this toy called Weeble Wobble. Shout out to anybody who remembers the Weeble Wobble. Okay, we fall down, but we get up. It was something like that. Yeah, you knock me down, but I'm going to get back up. So, but shout out to my ride or dies who, no matter what I do, even if they disagree with me, they'd be like, Diva, you crazy. I'm not on the train with you on this one, but I still ride with you. Those are the true people, and I love y'all for that. But see, some people, that right away, but I know when people do that, I'm unsubscribing, I know they wasn't down with me anyway. So it's like, all right, whatever. Go ahead. Go on by. You wasn't with me anyway. So, it's like, okay, bye. But here's the thing. Take the hit on me, but don't take the hit on the panel. There are a lot of my panelists, they've been riding with me for a hot minute. And there's some panelists where when I know I'm thinking, oh, I just do this video, I just do this live up at the last minute. I know I'm probably gonna be here alone, and then I get backstage, and then I got some ride or die panelists that'll be back there waiting for me, hanging out with me. Okay, yeah, weeble wobble, but they don't fall down. Come on now, that's me. You can knock me down, but I'm gonna get up. So what I want to say is here that, I open, if you love me, I'm going to love you back. I keep it that simple. If you love me, I'm going to love you back. If you don't love me, I'm going to try you out, but I ain't going to let you keep beating me down and kicking me down, and then you can still come through my door. We ain't doing that now. But if you love me, I'm going to love you back. I don't care if you got $1 or $1 million or anywhere in between. If you show me love, I'm showing you love back. You know, somebody wrote me a message about one of my panelists, and I said, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know if I ever told y'all my story, and if not, I'll give you the real short version. No, I was not the top of my class at all. I was in the class. I wasn't at the top of the class. Point blank in a period. You know, when I was, you know, you got some of those friends, they could just look at something and they pass. They'd be like, oh, I read it over once and they good. No, I had to study, and study again. My door is open to whoever you are, wherever you are, whether you black, white, yellow, orange, or you come from Mars, whether you are the highest scholar in the world or you just passed the class, I don't care. If you want to come up and grace me with your presence on the platform, you are welcome. As long as you don't curse, as long as you don't tell another pattern it's off, as long as you don't catch feelings. We say over here, catch the train, don't catch feelings. But what I'm going to say is, don't talk about the panelists. Don't be all personal with this. We got to do something a little different in this world. Stop being so mean to each other. It's not that serious, y'all. It's a moment in time. It's a video. We're talking about topics. I don't know none of these people. And whoever's here sharing their opinion, give them a minute to get it out. You never know what people are going through. You never know who may be coming through, and this is their moment to connect with others. This the Gray family over here. We hopping on a diva train, and all I ask, and I tell y'all, always have your opinion. You don't never got to agree with anything I say. But be respectful. And if you don't like a said panelist that's talking, skip over that part. Come back later. Mute your line. But let's be good to everybody. My theme this year is share the love. And I think that if the whole world was into just loving people a little bit more, we wouldn't have all this craziness going on. Everybody's so angry, so mean. It's terrible. We got to be nicer to each other. Calm down. It's not that serious. Be kind. It's okay. So all I'm asking is everybody, come on now, my opinion, share the love. All I'm asking from everybody is be kind, be respectful. Don't be disrespectful to the panel. The people just coming through, sharing their opinion. And some of these people, they buy Diva's side no matter what I do. And I appreciate them. And I appreciate all of you who come and hang out with me, because I come on almost every night. Y'all hang out with me, and y'all spend an hour with me like it's a whole TV show. And I appreciate y'all. And I thank God every day for my YouTube channel, because it brings me light in life also. I thank God for this channel. I thank God for y'all. I have fun. I truly enjoy it. But you can say whatever about me, but it hurts me when y'all want to say something about a panelist that's derogatory and negative. We can all have a conversation and not agree with each other. It's okay. Be kind to the panelists, because you know what? It takes a little bravery. When I first went up on somebody's panel, I don't know why I was so nervous. But then the host of that show welcomed me with open arms and was so nice to me. And then as I went on, when I first was on the panel, I was probably all over the place. As time went on, I got more comfortable and all was well. And, you know, I got comfortable going up and being with the panelists and talking. It's not easy to get up here, wait your turn, because you'll have thoughts in your head, But then you got other people that go before you, and they might have said your thoughts, so you think you got to say something. It's a lot. I'll stop with the public service announcement. The point is, please be kind to people. We're just here to have fun. If there's a lot of negativity in the world already. If we want negativity, we could just not even come up here. We can hang out with whomever. We could read about it. Just be kind to each other. Love one another. That's it, and that's all. It's 2025. We're going to deal with a lot anyway. With the new president. Okay, we got a lot to deal with. Increased matters. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. So listen, guys, let's do this. All right. It is, if you want negativity, go watch the news. Come on, shout out to the moms out there. I appreciate y'all. Let me get back on track. It is Trending Topics. It's Wednesday night. The title is called The Ugly Truth, okay? We got Snoop Dogg friend coming out saying, listen, chill, people. He's not a sellout, okay? Yes, I have my braids in my hair. Yes, I did. He's not a sellout. We got the Jerry Springer documentary. I don't know if y'all saw that documentary on Netflix. I watched it. It was a lot. It was a good watch. But listen, another producer came out and said they whitewashed the documentary. In other words, he's saying they gave us the soft and pink version of what went down over there on the Jerry Springer show. That's what the producer said. Now, you want to let me tell you something? You know, this Diddy behavior, it didn't start with Diddy. It didn't end with Diddy. And it seems like tons of people in the entertainment industry and beyond, because we saw it in the NYPD too, are into this type of stuff. One of the producers from the Jerry Springer show, who wasn't in the documentary, said he was hired so he could just get Jerry guests so that Jerry could sleep with the guests. He said he was hired. He was like the pimp. He said he was like the pimp. He said he was like the pimp for Jerry. He would get these guests because he used to be in that type of industry, so he knew people. He would get the guests, and then after the show, he said, yo, Jerry want to see you. Similar to a lot of people saying Diddy was like, oh, Diddy want to see you. Okay? But maybe the only difference with Jerry was he wasn't giving them substances. They was doing it on their own free will. And let me tell you something where Diddy messed up. Because of who Diddy was and he had money, I am 10 toes down. 10 toes down. That he could have got everything he was doing without doing all the extra, without forcing people. So he's a big dummy in that sense, right? But yes, this producer for the Jerry Springer show that used to be on the produce for the Jerry Springer show said he literally would get guests so that Jerry could sleep with him. We're going to talk about it. Okay? And then we got Diddy fighting back. Oh, so Diddy took a page out of Jay-Z book. Diddy probably told his lawyers, can you smarten up like Jay-Z lawyers? Soon as Jay-Z lawyers was hit with that lawsuit, you heard about it, and now we don't hear nothing. Does anybody know the latest thing that's going on with Jay-Z in this lawsuit? No, we don't. It was this big smoke for a while. It was like boom, and then as soon as it boomed, it settles down. Why? Because Jay-Z lawyer came out saying it was not my client. They did the trial before the trial. They did a whole press conference with a PowerPoint saying how the Jane Doe is a whole lie. No, back when I was in school, they had the PowerPoint presentation. They had a light. You point with the light so that people knew where you was at. He did a whole PowerPoint presentation. He said there was no Jumbotron that year. The other artist she claimed she spoke to was out of the country that year. There was no White House with a driveway. And if there was, it would have took her hours to get there. A whole PowerPoint presentation to say their client was innocent. So they did a whole trial before the trial. And then on top of that, they sued the lawyer. They said, oh, you want to play these games? They sued the lawyer, called the lawyer a whole lie, say the lawyer was fraudulent. So now Diddy took a page out of that book. The lawyer Ariel Mitchell Kidd and that Courtney Burgess, he's suing them. He's suing them, saying they spreading lies, telling lies, all for fame and fortune. Now you see where Courtney's going to lose at, because Courtney ran his mouth on the YouTube. I swear to goodness, there's something about when you get the people on mic and you said lights, camera, action. I guess deep down in everybody's soul, they want to be a star. They turned the mic on Courtney. Courtney was like, first he said he had tapes, and on the tapes, he saw the tapes with Diddy. He said it was about 3-4 minors. And then when they started to press him for more information, he didn't watch the tapes. There were no minors. He didn't see this. He don't know whatever. And he threw the tapes in the garbage. This came out of Courtney's mouth, not Diva. He was on the YouTube apologizing to Al B. Shore and everybody in between for the lies he told. Then he got caught up because they called him down there. The FBI, they was like, no, come down. You know so much. We need to talk to you. So he went and got subpoenaed. He went and talked. He brought Ariel Mitchell Kidd with him, and they both were slipping and sliding about with the information. So allegedly, Courtney had the real diary of Kim Porter, but everybody's saying, how could you have the diary of Kim Porter and don't nobody know you? None of Kim Porter's friends even know you. But then I had somebody to come up on my show and say that Kimora Lee Simmons was the one that leaked out the alleged diary that really doesn't exist. This Diddy thing is a whole hot, slippery mess. But in the meantime, he is suing Ariel Mitchell Kidd and Courtney Burgess. Yes, he is. He's suing them. He's suing them, and he took a page out of Jay-Z and what's that? Emmanuel Quinn law firm. Alex Sparrow. He took a page out of their book. He's smartening up. And you notice too, we haven't heard too many shenanigans about Diddy. He's learning, I think, too, to quiet the noise and fight your case. So we're going to get into it. I done talked enough tonight. Okay, we're going to get into it. Tonight's title is called The Ugly Truth. Y'all know what I need in that chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Wednesday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. It's called The Ugly Truth. The Snoop Dogg friend said, please, everybody chill. My friend is not a sellout. We got the Jerry Springer documentary, okay, where one producer said he was Jerry's pimp, and all he was doing was bringing lady after lady after lady after lady for Jerry to sleep with. And then we got Diddy fighting back. Let me bring the people in the building. Hey, Tay-Tay.
Hello.
Hey, in my opinion.
Hi, Diva. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo, Julius. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, y'all. Hit the like
Hey,
button, y'all.
Louise. Come on, hit that like button. Hey, Leo.
Hello.
Hey, Katrina. All right, y'all. Thanks for being in the building. Choo-choo. All right, well, we're going to get right into it because I done ran my mouth earlier. Okay, but we're going to get into this. You know, the first story I want to get into, because this story really had the community in an uproar. It really did. You know, now everybody was saying that the reason why Snoop really went and performed at the inauguration is because Trump had earlier pardoned one of his friends. So he felt like, you did a favor for me. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. But I guess he didn't want to put that out in the general public as to why he was going there to do it. But he should have gave some explanation, especially because of the simple fact. Everybody just mute your line while I give out the info on the story, please. Especially for this simple fact that he said a few years ago, he had said that people was jigaboos for if they was going to go perform for, you know, Trump. So he kind of stuck his foot in his mouth, And now his friend is saying, please, people, chill. Let me just make sure I'm bringing up the right story here. He, he's asking the people to chill and say, because he's saying, listen, my friend is not a sellout. He's like, don't do that to him. Okay, where did I lose my story? I'm sorry, y'all. Why is it not here? Hold on. I usually have everything queued up. Let me just stop this for 1 second. And let me go back and look at my stuff. I hope I didn't click out of it. Okay, that's not it. Okay, is that? Let me see. All right. 1 second. I'm coming. Let me cancel. Okay, Wayne, turn your camera off, Wayne. And I'm going to bring you back up. Okay. So you know what? I got to cue that particular story back up. So you know what? Let's move first into the Diddy story because I have that queued up. We'll flip. No worries. We'll flip and we'll go into the Diddy story because Diddy is suing Courtney Burgess, okay, and Ariel Mitchell Kidd, the lawyer. So Diddy suing witness lawyer for defamation, social media protagonist, inciting frenzy. Okay. So Diddy is going after a grand jury witness and a lawyer he claims have been spreading lies about him, accusing them of fabricating stories for media attention. The disgraced mogul is suing Courtney Burgess, a man who appeared as a witness for the grand jury, and Ariel Mitchell. She dropped the Kidd part, but I know her as Ariel Mitchell Kidd, Burgess' lawyer, for spreading what he says are outlandish claims and baseless speculation to feed public's desire for wild lies. Diddy fired back at some specific claims in the lawsuit as well, calling out Burgess for allegedly saying he possesses video of the star SAing celebrities and minors. The rapper insists no such tapes exist and says Burgess and Mitchell are simply telling blatant falsehoods or making recklessly false statements. Diddy's also fired back at Courtney's claim that he received Kim Porter's memoir directly from her, saying those closest to Porter, like her children and her roommate for more than 20 years, have never heard of him. As we told you, Diddy's children previously sent a cease and desist letter warning Burgess about releasing Kim's Porter book. Diddy suing Burgess, Mitchell, and the company behind News Nation for defamation and is asking for at least $50 million. We reached out to Ariel, who tells TMZ this is just a pathetic ploy to silence victims and people who stand up for victims. Diddy has time to sue, but refuses to accept service for the lawsuits already filed against him. I look forward to countersuing and ensuring the court punishes not only Diddy, but his lawyers who filed this pathetic lawsuit for the frivolous and meritless filing. You know what? I've never seen a time in my life where so many lawyers are getting sued. This is just a frenzy. It is absolutely bananas. Now, we're going to go back in time and hear Courtney Burgess speak. But the problem Courtney's going to
introducing Salad as a...
He, on these YouTube streets, said that he lied and didn't tell the truth and was apologizing. Let's listen to him.
Did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss?
No, we're trying to discuss that now. What we will be able to talk to in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives.
Okay,
but it was the book.
So it is Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily some of the stuff with the celebs that were mentioned. Besides,
it's hers. Nobody touched it.
Oh, so it is her official book.
Yes.
Nobody, and no one touched
nobody altered it. No.
So it's not the copy that the gentleman said that he was selling before. No.
No.
It's two different copies. That one was edited, and we have the original copy.
So you're saying that the other copy was an actual real copy, even though the family said it wasn't.
It was a derivative work.
It was edited. The only way the family say that is because I forgot his name. Albie Short.
Yeah.
Yeah. And besides that, how they know? A lot of stuff their mother did, they didn't know. And
Hmm.
I like to say apologize to the mother and the family for the picture being in front of it.
Right.
You understand? I didn't put it there.
Right.
So, they got to worry about bigger things
Right.
than what her diary was. You understand?
Right.
They should have started worrying when he was beating her.
Right.
When you start worrying about your mother after the fact.
Right. So, the book. Do you think it'll ever be open to the public or after this or?
That'll be the next thing. I've been contracted to go to Amazon and work out whatever legalities that may have existed prior, so that we can republish the book.
Wow. So the public will get to see her actual words and thoughts.
So very soon, the actual unedited version. We'll be
That-
putting that out soon.
So I'm wondering, do you own the rights, I guess, or how does that work?
I guess on rights was given to me, right?
I'll say possession is nonsense for the law. So.
So now those two are being sued by Diddy, okay? But like I said, he went on YouTube himself, retracting stuff, saying he lied. He's sorry, he didn't see the tapes, he threw the tapes in the trash. Tay, your thoughts?
I said to them, those two right there, I said, wish them best of luck. That's all, Diva.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So silence is golden. And I don't know how many times we got to say this. When you have something legitimate, you ain't got to talk about it. Okay. And so I think it's a lot of talking being talked all over the streets without any concrete proof. And so this is where they're going to be walking the tightrope. You know what I'm saying? This is where you open yourself up for legal actions when you don't dot your I's and cross your T's. But I'm going to wish him good luck since he didn't want to keep his mouth shut.
Best of luck in that lawsuit. Now you messed around all because you wanted some fame and fortune. You messed around and you caught up in a lawsuit. And when you caught up in a lawsuit, you got to respond. You got to respond. Whether you want to call it frivolous or not, you got to respond. Leo, your thoughts?
Well, hey everybody, hey on the panel. So I'm behind on these YouTube streets. Did he ever say how he got this diary? Do he know Kim Porter personally? Like, how did he get it?
Well, the thing is, Leo, he told a lot of lies, but he said he got it from Kim Porter herself. But then later on, people were saying that Kamora Lee Simmons actually gave up the diary that doesn't exist, but does exist. It's very messy. It's very messy, but he's trying to say, initially he said when it first came out, he initially said he got it from Kim Porter herself. That's what he has said initially.
Well, yeah, I'm just like everybody else. Good luck. I hope that all works out for you. I hope you get your name cleared for all the lies you done told on the YouTube streets. And it's too bad that you got Diddy coming after you. Lord have mercy, the tables will turn, won't they?
Won't they Nita believes you're up.
Hey, you know what? I think I remember you doing a story on this guy earlier when he first came out talking about it. And he talked as if he was confused and didn't know what he was saying, at the time of the interview. So, hey, if Diddy can countersue him and his lawyer for lying and cheating for fame or doing whatever he got to do, hey, go for it. So I'm everybody else. Best wishes.
Best wishes. Julius, your thoughts?
Oh, so he's finally getting his karma for a check he can't cash. About time. Him and his lawyer both.
Thank you, Katrina. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Good evening, panel, and Jiva and chat. Sometimes people want a piece of paradise pie, and sometimes that paradise pie is not what it's cracked up to be. They came out with all these allegations saying they got this, saying they got that, knowing if you say you have this evidence, these people are going to want to see it. And if you can't produce it or you can't prove what you just said, how somebody going to believe you in court? And like we said, we're not saying Diddy is totally innocent on all this stuff, but y'all making him gonna get a mistrial. This is totally crazy and foolish. And yes, if he's there's lying like this, he has every right to kind of sue. And we'll just see how it go from there. And it's just ridiculous. These people need to stop. They need to stop because all money is not good money, and that's what they all is after. They really need to stop and let the legal process take control because they're messing it up. So when they go to court or whatsoever, because like you said, they gotta respond, or they're gonna get a judgment against them.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes after that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like they said, everybody else telling them good luck, but we'll see.
Good
That's all
luck.
I got, Diva.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm glad Diddy and his lawyers woke up. They woke up because literally, I think if it wasn't for Jay-Z and the way Jay-Z is handling his case, Diddy's lawyers would have been still asleep on the job. Because I'm telling you, I think, the only reason why he's fighting back and he's suing this Courtney and this Ariel Mitchell kid is because they watched Jay-Z, fight back and sue the lawyer Tony Busby. So I'm not, this doesn't shock me, this lawsuit, and it doesn't shock me because I'm thinking, they're taking notes. So at least they're taking notes. Listen, when you see somebody who's doing it the best and that's the field you in, take notes. You don't copy them 100%, but you should take notes. So they're taking notes. Wayne, your thoughts?
Unfortunately for Courtney, he's being made an example of. So everybody else with these little petty suits or whatever gonna think twice because this is exactly what's happening to Courtney. Is what I said when you did that. This man don't have a lot of money. This man, and he just opened himself up to the judicial system, and he has to respond. He cannot afford. He's gonna be probably appointed, a court-appointed lawyer, whatever. He's not gonna have no defense. And if he does get a lawyer, does he have the money? And when I don't know if he lives in New York, but every time he got to be someplace, he got to pay. All because he ran his mouth and said he ain't afraid of nobody but Jesus. Didn't he say something like that?
He did. You come on, you better remember. Yes, he did.
He wasn't afraid of nobody but Jesus. And now he's asking for forgiveness for lying. And that I wouldn't be surprised if he ain't got to go from me. Because this is where there was that saying, whatever hits the fan. But he did it to himself. All that for lying. And then he had to admit it that he lied.
Yes, he did.
So what kind of defense is he gonna have? He getting sued. And he ain't got pot to piss in or window to throw it out of.
Facts, Wayne. He's screwed. And the real reason why he's screwed is all Diddy lawyers need to do is pull some evidence right here off the good old YouTube. Where he thought it was a kiki and a ha-ha that he was sitting there talking about how he lied. There were no tapes. He didn't watch the tapes. He threw them in the garbage. He had them for years and never looked at. The lies he told. People got to understand. They think it's funny. They want to click in the view. But this is your life, sir.
Another Keefe D. Look how he ended up.
Another Keefe D. Keefe D sitting over there in the Las Vegas detention center because he wanted to kiki and ha-ha on the YouTube for a couple $1,000, and now he locked up. He's in his 60s and is facing life in prison. Got diabetes and whatever other diagnosis he has. No, I'm not doing all of that. I'm not putting on no whole pony show for a couple $1,000 and act like I know this one. I don't know these people. It's a story I'm talking about, and we're going to move on after I'm done. You got the tapes. And then the worst part was you knew they was looking for these minors, and you gonna say you had tapes and it was about 3 or 4 minors on it. He said it on News Nation. Now, what I don't understand is how if you can have, you never know, even if you vet somebody out, you're not going to be able to tell if they telling the truth or a lie. He's suing News Nation, but I don't understand how News Nation can be sued when if I bring somebody up there and they telling their story, no, there would never be able to be a news story if you can 100% prove whether somebody's telling the truth or a lie. Now, but what News Nation should have did though is they should have at least vetted out and said, well, I need to see these videos. If you are saying you guys said videos, I need to see them. And my thing is, when he first said it, I said, how do you go to a News Nation talking about you got videos, but you didn't turn them over to the feds and you claiming about 3 or 4 minors on it? That's why Diddy got a lawsuit. Because the math is not mathing and it don't make sense. How do you go on a news station, anything with minors, that's going to be considered child P, is not legal, and you for sure saw a grown man messing with some minors and you don't go turn that in? You on a news station trying to shop it and sell it? He got himself in a bind. And this man wants $50 million. And like everybody on the panel said, good luck, Courtney and Ariel Mitchell-Kidd. And she's talking about she going to sue the lawyers too. Girl, good luck with that, because Diddy lawyers are high power. They ain't no joke. And Ariel Mitchell-Kidd is not on that level. But we're going to move up to the next story. I queued it back up. His name is Michael Harry O'Harris. And he is coming in defense of his friend Snoop Dogg. He's saying we need to calm down. His friend is not a sellout. He pretty much saying, I'm paraphrasing, we doing too much, but I'm going to let us all listen together. So, hold on. This thing kills me when it loses its cue. So, Michael Harry O'Harris, Snoop is no sellout, he's saying, okay? So he's saying, please, people, calm down. Don't do that to his friend. He is not a sellout. So hold on one second. I'm going to play this video for us. I will skip this once this commercial goes through. Okay.
So have you talked to Snoop about whether your commutation was the reason for his turnaround? Because he did do a real turnaround and end up showing up at the inauguration.
Well, of course, we talked about it. I mean, like, Snoop is appreciative, just like I am and my family, for what Donald Trump did for me and my family by letting me out. But at the same time, Snoop is a non-political guy. I mean, he's America's favorite. And so he didn't want to get mixed up into the politics. And so he kind of kept who he felt should be the president to himself. And whoever became the president, he wanted to support them. I mean, that's just the way all Americans should view this. I believe that, you know, if we say that we want to be American citizens, then we have to go with the mandate. If American people have chosen President Donald Trump to be the president, then why are we still continuing to throw arrows at somebody that we could work with that could change the trajectory of our lives, you know, in our communities? I mean, if that's what you really want. But I think Snoop Dogg has been an honorable guy. I mean, he didn't help the community. He didn't created programs where he spent his own money to help young men become professional athletes. And he done a number of things and using his own money. We done talked about that, where he didn't ask for sponsors. He did it himself. And so for him to make a decision as a performer to perform, which is what his bread and butter is, and what he's been trained to do, and now to be bastardized because he made a choice to do something and to do it at the inauguration with our new president.
You know, there were people who were flat out calling Snoop a sellout, and that he sold out not just himself, but hip hop in general by doing this. And I see Waka Flocka was there as well.
I think Rick Ross was there.
Rick Ross was there. Were you aware? I mean, did Snoop see or hear any of that?
I mean, look, Snoop Dogg is very aware of what people are saying, but to call a man a sellout, who one day we got 90 million followers, people who wake up to Snoop Dogg, and I just think it's a few people who have just decided that they're going to hate this new administration and they're not going to give it a chance. And I come from the school of thought that if you don't get a seat at the table, then you're going to be the ones that they're feasting on. And we have to start looking at it like that. Like, you know, what are you going to do for 4 years? You're going to sit back and let the world move around you and not engage? That's what Community First is about. We out here trying to engage. We out here trying to push policies. And I just think that it's unfair what's happening to Nelly, what's happening to Snoop Dogg. But I just think that they did the right thing. You know, I think that if you really want to make a change, you have to be at the table.
Let me just pause that. Hold on 1 second.
Hey, I'm Brad.
So Michael Ariel Harris is defending Snoop Dogg for performing for Donald Trump ahead of the inauguration. He says the gig doesn't mean Snoop betrayed his community. The Death Row Records co-founder joined us on TMZ Wednesday, and we asked him about the backlash Snoop is getting because of the Trump event. Michael says Snoop wasn't making a political statement by performing at Trump's pre-inaugural ball, telling us the dog father is supporting the office more than the person. Snoop's definitely aware of the blowback, but Michael's not got a strong message for anyone calling him a sellout. Take a look at Snoop's track record, namely a youth football league that helped 50 inner city kids become pro athletes. For Michael, it's all about separating the performance from the politics. And that goes for Snoop and the other hip hop artists who performed at Trump events, like Nelly. Snoop and Michael have been close for years. So it's an interesting conversation. And Michael explains why scoring some brownie points with Donald Trump is a good idea. Whew. Do y'all still feel the same? Are you hearing what Michael is trying to say about Snoop, and he has done good things previous to doing this? So he's not a sellout. Tay, your thoughts?
This is from the same man who say about 7 years about those guys who perform at for Donald Trump, and now look at him. He already did now for this year. And you tell me he's not political? Do you need to sit down somewhere? Because that's how people feel. And that's their right. You know? Don't tell us it's not our right. But it's our right. It's the people's choice. And their right too. Okay? That's all, Diva.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts? Are you understanding what
No, I ain't understanding nothing. In 2007, he was telling. In 2017, he was up there talking about something. Y'all go perform. You gonna be a jigaboo. You gotta watch what you say out here in the streets. And you go back. That did not. I'm telling you, that did not air well for him. Okay. And now people are looking at him like he a jigaboo. But you said it out of your own mouth. So if you got people looking at you sideways, remember what you said. Okay? Because them your own words. Ain't nobody putting words in his mouth. They even put it up side by side. And I ain't gonna lie. When they showed the video of him up there DJing, because he wasn't really performing, he was more like DJing, he looked like a jigaboo.
Leo, your thoughts?
You know, I'm gonna just keep it a buck right now. Snoop Dogg to me has never been a person who walked the line of integrity anyway. Y'all remember how he was cheating on his wife and had all these pictures on the gram with some little Instagram girl, almost divorced his good woman.
Yeah.
This is not the person that I would think of. I don't care what Snoop Dogg do. He could have put on his tap shoes and tap dance all the way across the stage. To me, that just seems like, to me, that's who Snoop Dogg has. I'm not saying he don't support, Black issues or the Black community. He is a Black man. He came up through a very difficult and at times deadly business music industry. So I'm not saying that, I'm not gonna call the man a sellout per se. I think he's always been that. He's always never been the person that told the line of integrity. And keep in mind, Snoop Dogg is not telling the truth. Snoop Dogg, he might needs to pay back. The one hand washes the other for Trump getting his homeboy a pardon. But I think, to me, I think it has more to do with Snoop Dogg name is Snoop Martha Stewart Dogg. He got a whole brand new brand. And I think that he always knows what side of his bread is buttered on, and that's making that green. That's making that green. He is making sure that his brand is more palatable so he can get more checks and more endorsements and be on more commercials than you've ever seen. He be on damn near everything. He be on damn near everything. He sells and hops everything. So he's opening up his brand even more so to get endorsements and things of that nature. And what he knows about the social media cycle, everybody will get over it. Now, we ain't going to forget. Now, people like us on the panel, we're going to bring it up next year when he do some more other type of fake stuff. Some other type of fake ish, we're gonna bring it up again, and we gonna keep our foot on his neck, because now he really showing us how he really like to do things. So to me, this is who Snoop is. As far as Nelly, Waka Flocka done been on the social medias talking about Trump, how he think he's a great president. He did that last term, so that ain't nothing new. Nelly, who is Nelly? Who is Nelly? Nelly ain't had a song out in over a decade, so ain't nobody really checking for him anyway. So who knows what his stance is? And it was somebody else too that Rick Ross. Anyway, all right, that's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. You good? Go ahead.
No, that's all I got. I ain't gonna drag people no more.
Nita Belize. Go ahead.
My mother always said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Woo!
We all know what type of person Donald Trump is and has been for years. And for Snoop to get up there in 2017 and say what he said and then call all the other rappers out or whoever he thought maybe was going to perform. And then here it is 2025 and you're going to eat your own words. And Elon Musk going to sit up and make a fool out of you on Twitter and put a laughing emoji and comment on what you said. So, he's just really, he probably won't, it won't hurt him one way or the other because he got money and everything, but it just looked bad on his part. And he do look like he's a sellout because, you just don't do that. You have to think about things. You go back to your ancestry and think about how they fought for stuff. And even Dr. King was strategic with what he did. But now, I just don't know. I don't know what's wrong with Snoop and these other guys because me personally, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. Ooh, Julius, did his friend touch your heart? Change your mind? Says Snoop is not a sellout?
What does the jigaboo and his jigaboo friend think about all the hatred that's going towards the Episcopal bishop out of the National Cathedral in D.C.? At the end of her sermon, she impeded very empathetically, compassionately, and asked the president and all the world leaders to have love and compassion for the immigrants, the LGBT folk, anybody. And what's going on now? She's receiving so much hate. In the man child at 47, the man child is demanding an apology. Not a day in hell. Anywho, so yeah, the Jigaboo and his Jigaboo friend. What do they think about all of that? Oh, right, because they just thinking about the grain. So they don't care because they not getting hatred because they are master good side. Oh, master, you want to kiss the ring master? Oh, well, we gonna kiss the ring master. Nah, he needs to stand on what he said in 2017, but he not. He's not of integrity. Gail King was right about him. She was right to hang him out onto the carpet. Cause he a bonehead. Always has been, always will be. I don't know why his wife put up with him so long.
Thank you, Julius. Katrina, your thoughts?
Okay. For him and his little friend, and no, his friend did not move me. You just happy he just got you out of prison. So you can take that message somewhere else. Nobody want to listen to that. And another thing, how you going okay, right now you perform for this man doing a crypto ball when these idiots was putting their money behind this little meme coin and lost all their money. So congratulations on that. But that he didn't make them do it. They did it on their own, idiots. Now this man has taken equal equality out of jobs. So that means that if your boss don't want to hire you because you're black or woman or your creed, your race, your religion, they don't have to do it anymore. This man that you went and performed for, sitting up here making people that's already on Medicaid and Medicare pay more for their medicine when Biden got it back down. So this is the man that you going for. This is a man that's actually he's going after black women, as I can see, because of all the people that got those threats, the threats that I was telling y'all about, they was black women. This is ridiculous. Rick Ross, you got these wing outs. You charge your employees for their uniforms. All of them are sellouts. These people working for you, and they have to pay out their uniform. They wasn't making that much money from the get go, and you was taking money from them for their uniforms. This is ridiculous. Yes, he's a jigaboo, and ain't nothing changed. And like everybody said on the panel, he's still gonna do what he wants to do. He's still gonna be Snoop Dogg. But like I told you, Snoop Dogg got some allegations coming down on him that we already know about, but it's gonna hit the fan. And that's why Tupac didn't trust him anymore. He knew Snoop was slimy. He's a slimy, sneaky snake. And so he's going to get exactly what he deserved. I hope the 98 million people that's following him stop following him. But you got some MAGA crazy people out there that will still follow him. He's never going to change. He's like Leo said, he always had this inside of him. He walking women's into a war show on a chain. They crazy for doing it, but I guess money's do anything. He had Selena Power up there while he was sniffing sugar boogers off her chest on Instagram. He never had integrity. And I see what Leo was saying. He never had it. So, no, he's a sellout. Do you hear him, his little friend? He's a sellout. So we're not buying it. So take that yak yak somewhere else because we don't want to hear it. That's all I got, Diva.
Oh, Wayne, your thoughts?
I think this is a case of the lesser of two evils. It was going to either be darn if you do, darn if you don't.
Okay.
So I think he just made the decision. He didn't already had to go to 45. I don't know how the conversation went. I don't know if this dude was saying, hey, maybe if you can get 45, and whatever deal they got going on. And he did it for his friend. So now you did almost, it's favor for a favor. Now he calling that favor back. So like I said, the lesser of two evil. Darn if you do, darn if you don't. And he just made a decision which was best for him, or to lighten the blow, because either way he was going to get it. Now, this clown that just got up there, first of all, nothing he said meant nothing about what I think about Snoop. Because Snoop didn't say it. He didn't say it. He's trying to come to his defense.
Mm.
And all he's doing, that's his practice speech that Trump gonna have him to say every time he need him, a black person, to be out there. To say how great he is. All this crap about sitting at the table. When somebody show you who they are, believe them. Why are you going to sit at the table with this convicted felon? This is what you call kissing the ring. That's what he wants. So he going to have this man kissing the ring because since he got him out, every time he needs one to stand up for, just like he had Herschel Walker, repeating the same old rhetoric. So no, nothing moved me about him. I give Snoop a pass for me because I think he just had to make a decision. And either way, both of them was going to be a bad one.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Hopefully time will just pass on. Somebody else will be in the news or be on the YouTube streets.
We got a lot of trials coming up, so it will. This too shall pass, they say, right? This too shall pass. Let's roll.
Hold on, Diva. The only reason why I'm not gonna give him a pass is because he did not give Michelle a pass. He did not. When Gail said that about what's his name that passed away, Bryant. He basically threatened this lady on TV. This woman was scared to come to work for doing her job. Because what you call him did cause a rapist. And when she said it, he got mad and called her a dog-faced B-word. So he did that to this woman. So no, I'm not going to give him a pass. He bullied this woman. So somebody need to bully him because he should have never did that. Because like in my opinion, you say you never know what's going to come back around and slap you in your face. He had this woman scared. Oprah Winfrey had to come out in defense of Gail because he scared the heck out this woman. So no, I'm not giving him no pass. And his friend, he's sitting up there looking like Jimbo. No, I'm not giving him no pass either. Because Snoop don't deserve no pass. And like I said, Wayne, you know I love you. But damn if you do, damn if you don't. He shouldn't have did the don't. And he should have stayed away. So yes, his 98 million people need to leave him alone. But that's all I got.
Well, we're down to 88 million. So some of them did leave the building.
And when Master tells them to get the walking and get to talking to them, they better do what Master say because they kissed the ring.
All right, so we're going to roll into this last story. This last story, if you didn't see the Jerry Springer documentary on Netflix, it's a good watch. But one of the ex-producers who did not participate in the documentary said the documentary was full of crap. They tried to paint it like Jerry Springer wasn't who he was. They said Jerry Springer at one time had got caught with sleeping with some of his guests, and they act like it was a one-off. But the ex-producer is saying it wasn't a one-off. That's what Jerry did. They also said in that documentary that Jerry didn't have, he wasn't into like fake guests. So he said none of his guests was fake. And the ex-producer said again, that's a whole lie. He said because Jerry knew that a big major portion of his guests were fake. So he's saying that Jerry was a hot mess. God rest his soul. Okay. But again, that tells you that, this Diddy thing that's in Hollywood, they all do it to a different level or degree. Some of them just wild the heck out, like the Epsteins, the Weinsteins, and allegedly the Diddys. Okay. And some of them, they know when to slow down. So let's go into this story. All right. So kid in a candy store. I was Jerry Springer's pimp and booked guests to sleep with him. The new Netflix doc is whitewashed, says the ex-producer. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I got kicked in it. So this was he used to be a pimp, and then he became a Jerry Springer's producer. So Jerry Springer's sex scandals were just the tip of the iceberg, with the legendary host regularly hooking up with guests invited onto his TV show. One of the most infamous producers claims Norm, who was bizarrely hired as a staff member after appearing on the Jerry Springer show 6 times himself, admits he will often hire fake guests that included strippers, P stars, or Ps he knew from his time in a band in LA. That's him again with Jerry. That's him. Speaking out about his time on the show for the first time ever, Norm has hit out at the new Springer Netflix documentary as a whitewash, saying the real story is even more jaw-dropping. He claims Jerry knew many of his guests were fake, and even more shockingly alleged he acted like a pimp for the show host, finding attractive females guests to do double duty, appear on the show, and then sleep with him afterwards. Jerry was no stranger to love scandals, having admitted to paying for P's for S using personal checks in the 1970s when he was a politician in Cincinnati. In 1998, he was also caught on camera having a threesome with a show guest, a P star named Kendra Jade, and her stepmom in a scandal that was briefly covered in the new Netflix series Jerry Springer's Fights Camera Action. While the documentary paints this as a shocking one-off incident, Norm claims it was in fact standard behavior for the U.S. telestar who died in 2023. He and his pal Al Bowman, a Hollywood celebrity limo driver, were hired as freelance guest bookers in 1996 before Norm was hired as a full-time producer. When we were first hired, Jerry came out to meet us in L.A. and picked us up in a limo, Norm told The Sun. The first thing Jerry said to us was, "I want to get laid. Where are the hookers?" We were like, whoa, but basically we realized right away, it wasn't just about getting guests for the show, it's about getting him laid, which of course we did. This just became part of our job, and that's why we were so successful, and we moved up the ladder. We found him women who were happy to do double duty, come on the show, and look after Jerry after filming. I realized right away that the most important thing was not finding guests, but finding women for Jerry. Luckily, I knew a lot of good-looking women, stripper and things, from my days in the band in LA. So that meant I quickly went from a freelance guest finder to a full-time producer on the show. When I became a full-time producer, I brought on a good-looking guest, and Jerry would go, "I want to meet that guest." I go up to them and say, I'm a new producer here, and it would do me a huge favor if you would go out with Jerry tonight. He thinks you're great. And they would, so I was like the pimp. It didn't take much persuading. The girls were happy to go off with him. That's Norm. The thing with Jerry was that when he suddenly found fame, he couldn't control himself because he always been very unpopular and kind of a geek at school. He couldn't control his urges because he was finally getting attention and getting women that he never got before. He was like a kid in a candy store. It was just an accepted part of my job being his pimp on the Netflix show. They make out that he had this one sex scandal. No way. That was just the only time he got caught. Fellow producer Al corroborated Norm's claims, telling The Sun, "Yes, we did that, and many other things as well. I co-produced 9 shows. We forever changed how television works. We opened the floodgates for the reality TV to thrive and grow." On a high, Norm is a hugely controversial character who appeared on several U.S. talk shows in the 90s to talk about a religion he founded in Southern California called the Religion of the Holy Herb, which attracted 1,000 members. He would often openly light up a marijuana joint on the screen, shocking audience and getting kicked off shows. Norma sang in a heavy metal band called Just Say Yes and even made a bid for presidency under his alter ego, Reverend Bud Green. Vote for Bud, 1996. Years later, he appeared in the Nick Bloomberg documentary Kurt and Courtney in Disguise, where he introduced the filmmaker to El Deuce, a heavy metal singer who made an unverified claim Courtney Love paid him to unalive Kurt Cobain who died by unaliving himself. El Deuce died just days later. He was also briefly represented a woman named Katie Johnson, who filed lawsuits claiming she had been armed by Donald Trump, although she withdrew the lawsuits shortly afterwards. One of the 6 times Norm appeared on the Jerry Springer as a guest, he claimed to be a modern-day Robin Hood, who during the LA riots looted stores and gave the items he got to the poor. On his last appearance on the show, he showed up wearing stars and stripes with 2 bikini-clad models to tow alongside Pal Al. They said they would legalize cannabis if people were to vote for him as president and give everyone a free limo. A lot of guests weren't legit. Shockingly, just 1 month after their bizarre appearance, Norm and Al were approached to work on the show as guest finders. We were guests turned producers, which nobody had ever done in the history of TV, Norm said. This is how quick it happened. Me and Al were on the air as guests in September 1996, and then within a month, we were guest finders, and within 3 months, producers on the show. The very first time they hired me as a guest finder, they wanted me to find Hollywood street kids / substance users. They liked those kind of shows because Jerry used to have a guest named Tweaky Dave that used to go on the show, and they would try to help him and stuff. The word fake was never used, but producers would say, find us someone who says they're a pimp or say they are a substance user. As I put it, they wanted to eat steak, but they didn't want to know how you butchered the cow. But they knew a lot of these people weren't legit, and they preferred the fake shows as they were more fun and less trouble. I realized right away that the most important thing was finding guests, not finding guests, but finding women for Jerry. This is what Norm said. I did used to do shows with real guests too, because I had been a guest on the Jerry Springer show and loads of other chat shows. It meant I could relate to the guests, so I was good at it. Al added, I would monitor incoming stories for unattractive people and then find good-looking actors from LA to play those roles. There was a specific method we used to do that. Without me escorting the guests from LA to Chicago, the biggest rated shows during that time when we were beating Oprah Winfrey in the ratings would have never happened. The tragic unaliving. The new documentary covers the tragic story of Nancy Campbell Pants, who appeared on the show with her cheating ex-husband. After watching the episode on TV, the ex-husband went on to unalive his former wife in a sickening unaliving that rocked America. Nancy's son expressed his anger at how his mother was ambushed to be on the show and how producers and Springer himself never admitted any guilt for his mom's unaliving. Norm says it's not shocking that the unaliving was related to the show and was one of the reasons he preferred to book fake guests. One time I produced a show using real guests who both threatened to unalive each other after the show, and I had to bring security guy Steve Wilkos in and say, look, you need to talk to these guys. They're talking about going home and unaliving each other. That's why the unaliving was not surprising, because when you do a real story and you put these crazy people together, it doesn't end after the show. Often it would inflame the situation and make things worse. That's why it's advantageous to do fake shows. You didn't have to worry about people unaliving each other. A Mexican strip club. He also recalls another time where he used real guests on the show. Young strippers from the U.S. who were working in clubs in Tijuana, Mexico, but things didn't go to plan. Me and Al went down to Tijuana and found these young girls who were working as strippers, he said. We had been in the music industry for years at this point. I was in bands in LA and had groupies. So we thought we had seen everything. But we were shocked when we saw a man lie down and hold a $1 bill in his mouth. Then they come and bend over him and pick it up with their hoochie coochie. We knew this would shock Jerry's audience. So we flew them up and tried to get them to recreate the scene in the studio but they got all embarrassed and wouldn't do it. I called it real people syndrome. Some people would have the most shocking lives and talk about it off camera, but as soon as the camera was rolling, they'd be silent because they get embarrassed. At least with the fake guests, you knew they would deliver what they were told to. And it was easier because you didn't have to deal with the aftermath. Doc Whitewash, they talk about the documentary that was on Netflix. Speaking about the new Netflix show, Norm, who says he was asked to take part in it but declined, said the doc is a total whitewash of the true story of what Jerry Springer's show was all about and how much Jerry knew about about how phony it was. The new doc misses outlaws. They don't talk about Jerry and his ludicrous behavior. Like I said, it's a total whitewash. The producer in the Netflix show, Toby, talks about getting guests from Georgia and Tennessee, calling it the Springer Triangle. Well, that was later on when I worked there. I got guests from strip clubs. I got good-looking guests. I helped get the really good-looking strippers and people that Jerry wanted to sleep with. Jerry didn't want to sleep with the people that Toby got on a budget. Norm also said he never saw guests being put up in fancy hotels or sent limos when he booked them. When we were booking guests, they flew them on the cheapest airline where they would give you a 2-day-old turkey sandwich, then put them up in a Motel 6. There was no fancy hotels, he said. We give them coupons to spend in the local diner. I call them Jerry dollars, and they spent most of that on liquor. Then get them to perform on TV. We were like magicians to get people to appear. I like to see producers on other shows do what we used to do. He said he often have to take guests to the dentist if they had teeth missing to get what was called a partial fitted to make them look more TV friendly. In the beginning, we actually gave them teeth, he said. Later on, they got their teeth knocked out. What was that? Fake guests exposed. Norm was eventually fired as a producer in May 1998 after an expose by News Show 2020 ran an interview with some of his fake guests who revealed they had been coached and even given a script on what to say by him. But he claims he was thrown on the bus and says hiring fake guests was a widespread practice before and after he worked on the show. Other Jerry Springer guests unrelated to Norm have claimed they were scripted or paid to fight on the show over the years. When I first started working on Jerry, people would say, "Oh, is he still on the air?" And then within a year, when I was working there full time, it changed from "who cares" to "oh my God, you work for Jerry Springer," he said. The word fake was never used, but the producers would say, "Find us someone who says they are a pimp or says they are a substance user." And I do take credit for that. There were 20 shows in the final period that had beaten Oprah in the ratings while I was there, and 12 of them were mine. Then when the whole scandal happened, they threw me under the bus, making out as I was the mastermind of it all, when I was like a German soldier just doing what I was told. They made out that they didn't have a problem with fake. They made out they didn't have a problem with fake guests, just one rogue producer. They had Jerry say, "If I have a producer doing fake shows, I don't want him in here anymore." For them to blame me for the fake guests is bogus because previous producers hired fake guests, and then producers after me have hired fake guests. So many guests have come out and said they were fake. That's why some people never mention they worked at the Springer Show on their resume. Naked Truth, Norm, Al, and the third unnamed producer have co-written a book about their time on the show called The Naked Truth, The Jerry Springer Show Exposed, and are currently looking for a publisher. Norman maintains nothing could have prepared him for what he experienced working on TV. Honestly, TV was the dirtiest business I ever worked in, and some of the stories I could tell you, you wouldn't even believe, he said. The Sun reached out to Toby and other former producers for a comment, but they didn't come back. And this is the book he has waiting for a publisher. He should just put it on Amazon because probably nobody's going to pick it up. The Naked Truth, The Jerry Springer Show Exposed, and former producers revealed the shocking story of the man, the fights, and the strippers. of the show TV guy named America's Worst Ever. Mm, mm. Jerry Springer, Tay, your thoughts?
I watched Jerry Springer when I was a kid. I did not know he was a pimp at all. And yes, I remember Steve, the bodyguard.
Who ended up getting his own show.
Yep, he sure did. Golly, Jerry. Everything come bite in the butt after you left this earth. Man, I remember people say Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. My God. And that's a long read that you did, Diva. About the guy saying everything. About the fake gas and the fake crowd. Actually, Diva, that was the real crowd in the Jerry Springer TV show. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Jerry, it just, oh, I'm just clutching my pearls right now, Diva. I'm so speechless right now. That's all, Diva.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Well, I ain't clutching my pearls because Steven already came out and said back in the day, if you saw what he saw, okay? So I already knew that it was scandalous because Steve had alluded to it. The all the orgasm that was going on in the back in the green room and stuff like that. And yeah, so I ain't surprised. I knew they was gonna whitewash it for TV because that's what they do. They don't want to put people business out there. And now with Jerry gone, they definitely don't want to, tarnish his legacy. But you know what I say? If you think it's happening in the music industry, if it's happening in the movie industry, it's definitely happening on the TV industry. Some of those guests was really outrageous. It was like too far gone to even believe. The tooth being knocked out, stuff like that. Them up there crying, and it was fake. You knew it was fake. They was bad actors. Okay. I was a young adult watching this, and I knew it was bad acting. I was like, "Ooh, this is the worst acting in the world." Um, just was a hot mess. But people joined in because they liked the hot mess. It wasn't nothing like it on TV. So, you know, hey, it is what we learning now that this is what life is in the entertainment, industry.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Thank you, in my opinion. Leo, your thoughts?
I tell you, Jerry. To be honest with y'all, when I first saw Jerry Springer, this might have been in the late 80s when I first seen it. They cut up so bad. I honestly did not know people lived like that.
I
Like
know.
it's the girlfriend, and then it's the wife, and then it's the baby mama. They had it was so outrageous. I might have been 17 or something like that in 1989. It was so outrageous to me. I just could not, and my eyes was glued to the TV. It was so outrageous. It was before everybody started shouting Jerry, and it was before there was a fight every single like episode. I had stopped. I was already, by the time it got like that, I was already working and stuff every day. So I didn't have a chance to watch it. But I don't know if you remember, Diva. Do you remember that fight that they had on Geraldo, and they started throwing the chairs and Geraldo got his nose broke?
His nose was really broken. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Never
it was
forget
really broken.
it.
And I watched that in real time, and I can remember right after that's when you really started to see like fights from Jerry Springer. But it wasn't every single episode. But they was cutting up in the 80s. They was getting down for real, for real. And yeah, it's outrageous. And the reason why I believe what this man says is because of his stories and his topics. And for someone to put so much debauchery on TV and keep a straight face. He all about that life. Let's just keep it real. He all about that life, and he always has been. And let me ask you this too, Diva. Isn't he married? Wasn't he married to Connie Chung?
I don't know. I don't think Connie Chung. He was
That's what you call it. The one did the that's Maury.
Maury
Maury.
Povich. Maury Povich.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Scratch that. Because I was like, ooh.
He was married though, and he has a daughter. I don't know. I got to look up to see if the daughter's still living or what's going on with the daughter. And the daughter had a disability. But yeah, he was married. I don't know if they got a divorce. I don't know everything that happened with it, but definitely was married. He had a daughter, and they said he loved his daughter with everything in him. But I mean, I don't know what it is with these people and the sex.
But you know what? When you read the article and it talked about that scandal in Cincinnati, I remember reading about that when he was a politician. Sure did. So they ain't telling no lies on Jerry, y'all. I'm just telling you. I'm like opinion. I believe it. I sure do. I ain't gonna hold y'all no more. That's all I got.
Nita? Are you there? Okay, I'm gonna move on to Julius.
We all know Jerry's show was a hot mess. Like him hooking up behind the scenes with that mama and her daughter that was on his show, like that producer was talking about. That man used his TV show to serve his own needs. That's what he did. And we all know Jerry was a hound dog. May he rest in peace. I say that in the most holiest way possible. But he was a hound dog. A hound dog in the other word as well. It's like, look at Steve Wilkos. The only one that could really talk is Steve Wilkos because he was in the trenches of it.
Steve Wilkos' show wasn't no better though.
No, but he has more of a.
He learned from Jerry.
Yeah, his show wasn't no better. His show was just, to me, a continuation of the Jerry Springer show. That's just my thoughts. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah. Jerry was a mayor. I wonder what he's doing when he was a mayor. But anyway, these people came on that show. They knew what to expect. Jerry had the highest ratings. I mean, we would be at work sneaking, going where we was going to watch these in these patient rooms, watch Jerry. Jerry was a mess, but looking at the guests that came on there, you know something was going down. But like you said, like they said, he never did them. They asked him and they volunteered. So it wasn't like he was graping them or anything like that. They went for the ride. I mean, you can look at Jerry and see that Jerry wanted to be a pimp dad or whatsoever. Because the people that he have on his shows, the strippers, they mud wrestling, they wrestling in milk, bathing in milk. I mean, Jerry's show was outrageous. And, Steve became popular because the people like Steve. You had people on Jerry's show showing their breasts for beads. Come on. I mean, you expected anything less. But the only thing that they said that that I do agree on, that he never raped them, or as we've seen or whatsoever. He never like gave them substances or whatsoever, and that we don't know. But they asked them and they volunteered. They didn't have to say yes. They could have went on home, but they wanted to be with Jerry. So I think that was their choice. They gave him a choice. It was their choice. They said yes. So I mean, ain't nothing we can say. Jerry, rest in peace wherever you is. And like everybody on the panel was saying, this happened in the TV world. But the thing of it was they wasn't made to do it. They did it on their own free will. So that's all I can say, Diva. That's all I got.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, I never really watched Jerry Springer that much because back then the stories was just so preposterous that people, it was like he found the worst of the worst that he could put on there. It was always something sexual. It was. So I'm not surprised that he would be involved in something like that. Birds of a feather flock together, and but he ain't hurt nobody.
Yeah. They were willing participants. Anita, your thoughts?
All I say, freaky, 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 freaky. You know, I used to watch it, but then it got to be a bit much. So what I had to do was just kind of pull back because it began to look fake and phony. I mean, it was all right for a while, but when they start showing butt and boobs and stripping folks' clothes off and all of this kind of stuff, it got to be a bit much. So I hadn't watched the documentary, but I do plan to watch it now, since you've talked about it. And but I don't believe the man would have a reason to lie because he looked kind of freaky and weird himself. That's it, Diva.
He telling the truth. It is what it is. Keisha, your thoughts?
Hey guys, I just had to come up real quick. I was typing in the chat, but maybe probably about 4 years ago, I was doing a training class and I had an employee. She moved from Kentucky to Atlanta and she was an aspiring actress. And she told me she went on the show, her and her best friend. And they weren't fighting or anything. It was staged, the whole thing. She told me they would take them to fighting lessons, to show them how to fight before the show aired. And she told me when they would go on the show, the producers would stand back there. Okay, I'll give you extra $100 if you pull her wig out. I'll give you this if you punch her in the teeth. Yeah, they were like coaching them as it was going on. Yeah. And then she also said those judge shows were fake. Like she was on, I can't remember which judge show she was on because she showed us the videos, but she said they would find real cases, but the people wouldn't really be mad at each other. They would go on there and put on even more. But she was doing all this stuff so she could get into acting. But she did say even if you lost the case on the judge shows, they would still pay you. So most of this stuff is fake. I was like, wow. And she had the video with her and her friend on Jerry. She said there was no animosity. They did it for the money. It was fun, whatever. And they were just like, yeah, if you do this, I give you this. I give you this. So yeah, all of it was fake.
Isn't
I
that
just remember Sukiyana was on Jerry Springer judge show. I forgot about that. Yeah, she was on there. Sukiyana. She was on Jerry Springer. He started being a judge.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah,
I do
he
Oh
came
remember.
on
yeah.
his show one time. Yeah.
Well, I could see that.
Yeah.
I do remember that when he went to do a judge for a little bit, he went to be the judge, he did a judge show for a little bit. Listen, I mean, you sometimes you sitting there and and so I'm wondering now if all of those paternity tests on Maury, I'm wondering if all of those were
Some of
fake.
them were fake too, Diva.
That's a shame. I wouldn't go up there and make a fool of myself saying I got all these baby daddies and I don't know who the father of my child is and this is a fake thing. That is crazy. Yes, I had a friend on a judge show. She said they have real cases, but they would take your case if you agreed to be on TV.
My mom was a guest on the Maury show once, and some of them stories are real. She was in
Yeah,
the
I had a neighbor that was
audience.
on there that a DNA test they did on her son. Yeah, it was real as well. But I'm not saying that they all is fake or
Well,
whatever.
they
But I
said
remember,
they said Maury ran out of. They said Maury ran out of people that wanted to come on after so long, and he had to get fake guests to come on and do the.
Lord have mercy. I'm not surprised.
Oh, I
I
see
remember,
what
Jenny Jones' show got canceled because she had on there, I have a secret crush. And the man came on not knowing it was another man that had a crush on him.
yeah, that was horrible.
And
I
he
felt
off that
bad for
man afterwards. Yeah. These
Mm.
folks is crazy. But those judge shows, when you go on Judge Judy and Judge Matthew, they be real cases, but they pay you to go on there. And so they give you the money, but you only get a percentage if you lose your case. Whoever win the case get the majority of the money.
That's what she
So you
said.
only
She
get a
said that.
percentage. Yeah.
But she said she said it's a win-win because you still both sides still get money. but they, you know, pay you to be extra. She said when she went on that judge show, it was still somebody she knew, I guess, because she had a case with somebody, but they weren't really mad at each other. They were acting still.
Yeah, I mean, I could, you know, maybe with something with a judge, so okay, I'm like, okay, whatever. But when it comes to that paternity test, I would have not been one of them females going up there talking about I don't know who the father of my child is. It could be 3, 4, 5 men. No, I'm not doing all
No,
that.
that's a bit much.
That's
a
a
And
bit
then they
bit
much.
run off stage. Ah, hollering. Girl, you already knew that one your child.
always run off the stage. And I mean, I was seriously watching and feel bad for them. I'm like, girl, how you don't know who the father is? And then Maury always goes on, don't worry, we're here to help you. If you got 5 more people that you think you want to bring them here, we want to help you find the father of your child. Just a hot mess. But they definitely laid the footwork for these reality shows that are out there now.
Yep.
I would definitely say that.
Yeah.
It definitely was
It was always a fight on Atlanta Housewives.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All of them shows. It started out with the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Once Teresa Giudice flipped that table, then everybody was flipping tables, throwing water in people's face. It was just, it's messy. It's messy.
Well, Diva, remember who told her to flip the table?
Who?
The messy producer of them all.
Oh, you know what?
Carlos
King.
Forgot about that.
You forgot he got all over YouTube talking about something. That was my favorite part. I had to tell her.
Yeah,
Carlos was messy boots for sure.
He sure did. But that became like the thing. That was an infamous, like, that was crazy. It became the thing. She became known for that. And it just kind of blew up and started the shenanigans on, reality TV.
The Flavor Flav show. Oh my God. How they just let Flav. Oh my God. That's
nasty. The only thing I liked about the Flavor Flav show is how he would come up with names for them. Because listen, Delicious uses that name to this day. New York still uses her name to this day. So I think that was the cutest thing about the show. But other than that, nasty. You couldn't have got me to go on that show and kiss Flavor Flav. I'm sorry.
As Miss Celia would say, because he sure was ugly.
Yeah.
a little troll that popped up at that comment. Like, what in the heck? I'm like, I know this can't be no real.
And them girls were serious about that Flavor Flav too. And
yeah, because the longer you stay on the show, the more money you make.
Yeah, he had several seasons.
Mm-hmm.
He had several seasons, so that's crazy.
And the whole
then he started. But you know,
Pumpkin,
first he had some real world with him and that lady that was married to Rocky.
Bridget Nelson.
Bridget, yeah, she was.
Yes.
She called him Foo.
On the train, look, that's the TV show that was on Katrina.
Yeah. But listen, guys, thank y'all for being here. Okay, I appreciate y'all for coming through for Trending Topics. It's Wednesday. We had a good time. I will see y'all again tomorrow night. Remember, y'all know what y'all got to do. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. Thank you, Maz. I saw you in the streets holding it down. Saskay, Cara Bar, Julius, Katrina. Much love. I'll see you next time. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Do that, Tina Diva, or shut down. Choo choo, beep beep.